Hello. So in this video I'm going to talk about relationships. So many times this has happened with me, like when clients come up to me to know the qualities of their future spouse, and when I start telling them, they are like, are you talking about my ex? Because all the qualities that you told me are like my ex had those qualities. So why does this happen? I mean, this is the thing that we are going to talk about in this video. So, what a pattern I have seen that whenever whenever we get married or when we are in a successful relationship later in life, that has always similarities with the relationship or the strong feelings we had in, let's say, teenage. So these two relationships have similarities, and I won't call it, it is not necessarily a relationship, it can be a crush as well. But yes, our first relationship, because it is very intense, and whenever we had a relationship or a fling in teenage, it is very intense, and we don't use that much of logic when it is for the first time, and it is not by brain, but after that we get conditioned to so many things, so there is no conditioning as such when it is for the first time. And this is the pattern I have seen not just few times but so many times that I can't even count what kind of pattern it could be. Like, there are similarities in so many things. It can be physical appearance or something very distinct, like something in face, any facial feature, or like name, any prominent sound in the name, or this is the thing that I told you. And secondly, one more thing, like when second lord and seventh lord are the same, let's say in Libra ascendant. So in Libra ascendant, second lord is Mars and seventh lord is also the Mars. So Mars, that means that there will be similarities between the first spouse and second spouse if the person gets divorced or widowed. So this is the thing, that spouse is going to have similarities with the first spouse. It can be so frustrating, but yes, it is going to be true, because I have seen in so many cases. So these are the patterns that repeat themselves in relationships. So the main thing that we were talking about is that, yeah, so first relationship or first longest fling is going to be similar with the it can be a marriage or our successful relationship or whatever. So why does that happen? Because the karmic, the karmic, there has to be a karmic account, of course, mutual karmic account. And the second thing is that the first relationship is like, we can see with the help of fourth and fifth house. And it is our actually basically the first spouse. If we are having a long relationship, it could not necessarily end up in marriage, but still, maybe it was kind of your emotional marriage. So I'm not saying that every nibba nibbi needs to be taken seriously. Even we don't need to take ourselves so seriously or our flings so seriously, because people tend to get delusional. Even marriage can be like, few months, last in just few months. So those marriages, like which lasted just for, let's say, 2 months, 3 months, is just karmic, but that person was not meant to be with you for a whole life, and mm, you will doubt whether you need to consider that spouse as your seventh house or seventh lord, because the longest relationship you had, that partner will show you the qualities of the planet which is placed in your seventh house and your seventh lord. So let's make this video all about relationships. So now let's talk about the planet placed in seventh house versus the seventh lord. So the planet placed in the seventh house, let's say it's no, I won't give an example. So the planet placed in seventh house is also affecting your lagna, right? So what would you say, that you and your spouse have you both have that quality that is shown by the planet, that is represented by the planet placed in the seventh house? Is it true? Yes, to some extent. And if I talk about the seventh lord, if I talk about the seventh lord, it is going to some, it must be going to some house, or maybe it's sitting on its own, like in its own house in the seventh house, but it is going somewhere, right? So wherever it is going, like seventh lord is going into the ninth house, seventh lord going into the 10th house. So let me give an example, like seventh lord going into the fourth house, your fourth house, so it is 10th from the seventh house. So your spouse is much focused on his work, and there will be some, imbalance in the relationship because of this career thing. Let's say if seventh lord is going into ninth house, so ninth is what? Ninth is travels. Your spouse is always traveling, that is causing some kind of imbalance in your relationship. So what we come to know through the seventh lord and its placement is, what is the focus of your spouse. And if you want to talk about, if you want to know his qualities, your spouse qualities, that will be known through the house sorry planet placed in the seventh house, and also the kind of the nature of the zodiac sign placed in the seventh house. And generally you will see the zodiacs in axis don't have that their lords don't have that friendship friendly relationship with each other, like Jupiter, Mercury, like in Sagittarius ascendant, like in Gemini, any ascendant of zodiac, Jupiter zodiac or Mercury zodiac, so they are not friends mutually. And also like Moon, Cancer, and Capricorn, they are not friendly to each other. So always you will see enemies in the axis, enemy lords. So what does it mean? You are always going to be inimical to your spouse. Yes, your basic nature will be different. So that is why it is said that our opposites attract each other. So enough of buck. So this video was all about relationships, and I will share many more things in the upcoming videos about relationships, because I see so much pattern and similarities in the daily reading, and there's so much to talk about. Well, let's call it a day. Good night. Bye bye. Om Grini Surya.